We've got a minute left or so.
There.
Hey, Nicole and Robert and Leslie and Brita, welcome, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
We are at 2 o'clock, so you're so punctual. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And we've got a couple more people popping in, so we'll just invite them in. And we've got this nice group here. Hi, Alex. And we've got Carolyn. Hey, everybody, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
So
welcome to Challenge Week.
I'm Marilyn Suttle, and with me is Margarita Guri. Her tagline is Dr. Red Shoe, which you'll hear about what that means and who that is. A lot of you already know her, but we're so excited to have everybody. Let's just do a quick hello. Let's hear
Hi,
everybody.
everyone. So let me tell you a little bit. Challenge Week got started in the following way. Marilyn and I are both seasoned MCs. And suddenly we became, when COVID came, we became more wanted as virtual MCs. I've been virtual MCing since 2009, but technologies have been changing quite a bit. I then got offered to do a series of things. Marilyn said she would help me out. She did. We were kind of a hit. Was I going to say, yeah, duh. And so then I decided that I was going to create this thing to help lots of speakers who are struggling to make money. So I thought, let's give them another income stream. And there's Robbie, the No More Bad Zoom, our tech guru. He's an amazing guy. And so we decided to create this virtual MC series to help anyone who wants to be a leader speaking virtually, an MC, a speaker, anybody. And so that's why we're doing this. We figure we give everyone a chance to do what they need to do with the growing technology, and we're never going to stay on top of it. I think it's growing by the day. So all you can do is be graciously behind. So welcome to the graciously behind mindset. All right, Marilyn?
And so I have a question for you, and you probably have questions for us, but I'd love to start out with what's your biggest wish? What do you want to get out of learning about this virtual MC world? What if we could just go around one by one and share just what do you want to get out of this course? And Brita, would you want to start? And then you could pick the next person. Just unmute.
Okay, yes. So what I would really love to have is just a really like a game plan, a path forward to have the confidence to go to my clients and say, I can do this for you, and this is really going to make a difference. It will be impactful. Here's how it will benefit you. Here's the things I can do. And then just know exactly what I need to do, when I need to do it, and get business that way.
Excellent. Who goes next, Brita?
Caroline, how about you?
Hello, I'm on my phone because I'm having computer problems. So I will join in with my computer as soon as it can reboot properly. But I didn't want to be late, so I'm here.
And you look lovely on your phone.
You do.
Thank you.
Very graceful.
So I think what I would like for this week is to practice the opportunity to practice, get feedback, get some more learning, and to improve on that.
Excellent. Thank you, Caroline. Who's going next, Caroline?
I can't see who's on because I'm on my phone. I can't see next. So could you pick for me, Marilyn, please?
Sure, Robert.
All right. So I think if there's one thing, it would be just connecting the dots business-wise. You know, I've been doing emceeing and facilitating for a very long time. When I saw that you guys were doing this, it really made me realize that there's more to be done in terms of monetizing that kind of work and positioning myself as an expert in that space. So those would be the dots that I would want to connect and the outcome that I would be looking for. Plus, you know, all the little technology stuff is good too. So I'll pass it to Nicole.
So I'm Nicole, and I guess what I'd like to get out of this is I've been hosting kind of fun virtual events for a little bit. And I'd like to figure out how to do things like mentioning like scripting and sort of like kind of scaffolding. Was going to be a high school science teacher, so I guess I know how to structure content, but I don't quite know how to structure other people talking without being a giant control freak about
Right.
what they're saying. Because I want to give them that freedom, but I also obviously scaffolding it would be great. So that's the part I'd like the most help with. And how about Robbie next?
Hey everybody, I'm Robbie. So I basically created a business running people's virtual events last year and discovered along the way my ability to MC in a virtual space. But it's not something I was trained to do, and I don't have like a structured way of thinking about it. It's very much based on improv. So I'm just excited to kind of get some structure and thinking in it, both for me, but also it's easier to teach it if I know what it is I'm doing. It's like, have better instincts. That's not something you can teach people. And I'm going to pass it over to Leslie.
Thanks, Robbie. So I'm Leslie Fiorenzo, and I would echo what Brita said, along with what everybody else has said, but I really liked how she summarized it in terms of a game plan and now learning all the tech pieces and the things to do, but then how to monetize it, how to move it forward, and what should we do next? Like what next Monday, what should we be doing to get business?
That's great.
And who's next, Leslie? You can keep yourself on mute.
Alex. I think Alex is the only one that.
All right.
Oh, we can't hear you, Alex. And by the way, let me put back the curtain. One thing you could do is to have a little sign like this, because sometimes they can't see it either. That just, or they don't hear you saying, I can't hear you. So having little props can sometimes be a fun
If
way.
you want, you can pop it in the chat, Alex, until you're just your mic.
Oh.
There we go. There we go.
Yay. We got it.
Okay, I would say just being more comfortable on camera and just getting used to speaking in like the virtual space. I've talked in front of audiences and like with small groups, but it's kind of a whole different thing when you're on the cam and you just see everybody in a little box. So yeah, just getting more comfortable and fluent with that and being able to kind of go off the cuff.
That's
This
great.
virtual thing is hard for extroverts too, who are used to getting different kinds of more sensory feedback from their peoples, their audience. Alex is,
Right.
by the way, the son of Marilyn and an amazing musician. And we use his musician. He gives us free use of it. So what you heard this morning was his.
That's his music coming up.
That was his music.
And he's a podcaster. So,
And well, that's right. So
and so
what we're going to be working as the goals is a focus on the end product. So Marilyn and I say, what can you do to help people focus their learning efforts? You're going to be creating in a variety of steps, learning how to manage the technology, creating an introduction to somebody, delivering that introduction, and maybe some interview with them, then an outro, and then transitioning to the next segment. That is our main focus for this week. For boot camp that's coming up, we have a different focus, but this is the focus for this week.
So you will have a segment that is essential for anyone who is event hosting, and a structure for doing it, and practice, and at the end, a really fun showcase. So
And you'll have 2 scripts. I know, Nicole, you talked about scaffolding. We're going to give you a minute basic template for a big long day event, a 3-day event. The script gets huge. So we decided to start small. And the first assignment has the mini script. The version 2 of the script grows. And so with each thing we'll add. So for the challenge group, you'll have 2 versions of the same script that you can work on.
if you don't already have the handout, I just popped it into the chat for you. That's your
Really?
manual. Yes.
I lost you for a second.
Oh, I'm right
I
here.
don't know if it was me. Was it me or is it everyone else? Just me?
Just you.
Just me, Margarita. Okay.
Just Margarita.
Just me. All right.
That makes you special.
Well, yes, that's what the nuns always told me, that I was a special case.
So yes, we are going to cover basic tech as far as drawing back the curtain of what we do, but we highly recommend those of you who want to go diving deep into Zoom. Robbie Samuels has a program called No More Bad Zoom, and every Friday at 5 o'clock, it's free. You can go there and you can learn every ins and outs. And he also has a certification course that,
The 5% advantage,
yes.
you get 5% better. And I think I'm 100% better knowing I'm going to be taking his course. So
It's by the way, it's 5. My wife thought the naming was poor. It's 5% better every time you host or speak online.
every
Not just
time. Well,
not just 5% better forever. That doesn't seem like worth the effort.
each time. Okay, so it's incremental. I
Continuous
get,
improvement.
now I get it. Okay.
And so just for some basics, how many of you raise your hand if you've never been into a breakout room? I just want to know. So everybody's been into a breakout room. Okay, great. And how many of you know the basics, like how to do chat, how to open chat and talk in chat? Y'all know that. How many of you know how to bring up a screen? Just raise your hand if you don't. Who doesn't know how? I mean, that's, I don't want to stress anybody out. Alex could use a little help with that one.
Bring up a screen, yeah.
You talking about screen sharing or?
Screen sharing, yeah.
Okay.
Screen sharing so that you can show your PowerPoint and that type of thing. I just wanted a quick check in to see where you are each in your comfort level. If at any time you want to know something, this is interactive, just ask, we'll just bring it up. We may put it in a certain section of the day, but we'll make sure we get to it. We'll put it in the parking lot, so to speak, but this is for you. So we're really looking to help you take it to the next level.
So look below under our picture, our gallery of pictures, and you'll see that there's chat, screen share, breakout rooms, reactions. Click the reactions, please, everyone. Some of you are going to have a yellow hand. I missed the blue hand. So when I did this with last time that I went to Robbie's No More Bad Zoom, which is, by the way, worth it, I realized I had not updated my Zoom client. So everyone go to your reactions and just put something up. Just play with it. Some of the things go away on their own. Some you have to click again. When in doubt, double clicking helps. Isn't that cool? I can raise my hand.
And I love that you could say yes. So I could ask the whole group quickly, say yes or no, and ask a question. And there you go.
We hope you don't have to say slower and faster to us, but if you do, we will try and pay attention. So
and we think we're funny. So if we make you laugh, you could put up the little laugh sign.
Yeah. So, you know, whatever that works. So
yeah,
that's that.
And so the flow of today, we're going to be covering intros, how to do a really effective intro in a couple of different ways that, well, have you ever heard somebody go up and just read a bio and you just want to die? It's so boring. And so we don't want you to fall into that trap. And there's some formula to make it good. And you don't want to just follow one formula. Otherwise people get, oh, here we go. Same thing, right? So we're going to give you a variety and dive into that. And then you'll get practice and it'll be really fun. But Margarita, you're going to start us out by showing us the manual so people know what they have, right?
All right, so let's take a look at the manual. We put this together, by the way, this weekend. So we have a special thing that we do. If you find a typo, put it in the chat and then we'll go, Opa, okay? Because we want to help find typos. Anything we can do to make it better, we like to share. All right, so here is the manual that we took weeks to do. No, that we did this weekend. We've been working on it for a while. And if you look at it, did everyone get it? Apparently we have to find a different way to manage all of this.
Gerald just came in. Gerald, in the chat, I'm going to pop in so that you have it, the manual, in case you didn't have it already.
Oh, I have it. I'll just pop it again. There.
Oh, there we go.
I had it queued up. So here is what we're doing. We're doing day 1, the virtual MC basics. Day 2, virtual engagement. And of course, screen presence is part of that. Day 3, intro delivery prep. You're on your own. We're going to abandon you, but not, because we're going to be in your head. You're going to be working on, and we'll tell you more how to do it the day before. Virtual MC bells and whistles, engagement and things that add pizzazz. And then the showcase is the final day where all the stuff you've been working on, you get to show. And don't worry, no one's going to fail. Everyone's going to do super well. And then we put the resources, and we put Robbie and as a contact person in the resource. We think he's like gold. So if you like gold, go to Robbie. All right. So then we have here objectives worksheet. Marilyn already asked you guys. The purpose of the workbook is really for you guys to have more information than we're actually going to talk about, because we thought that way you can read at your own pace. There's places to write. We believe that if you write things down with pen and paper, it helps most people learn more. And it's more of an emotional component for some people. If not, ignore it, make your PDF into writable and write away that way. But writing it down is essential. And then we have each day is separated. And then you want to talk now about the roles and responsibilities?
The roles.
Why don't you do the paired thing first? Let's do that.
Well, okay, but I do want to throw up a quick poll just to see how many of you would have a MC gig this week, this month, this quarter, or as soon as you get your next booking. I'd like to kind of just get a sense of how soon the next thing will be for people. Okay, and here is a MC behind the scene tip. When you're going to close a poll, sometimes people just think about it and they haven't put their answer down. They need time to think about it. So when you're about to close a poll, it's nice to say, I'm going to close the poll now, and then do a countdown like I'm going to do right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then share the results. So we've got 1 this week, 1 this month, 2 this quarter, and 4 as soon as you get next booking. So good, that gets us a sense of what everybody's up to. And I'm seeing everybody getting bookings because everything's virtual, and we're rolling into the busy time of the year. So that's excellent. Okay, we're going to do an activity right now, breakout sessions. Since you've all done breakouts, you know what that looks like. You're going to be put into a group of 2, and your role is to come back after you've been in there. What is it, 3 minutes, Margarita? How long do they get?
Have a 3-minute share.
I'm looking and it says 6 minutes, 3 minutes.
Well,
each.
because it's 3 minutes for
3
each
minutes
one.
each. Yes. So you'll have 3 minutes each to talk to each other, and you'll come back and introduce your partner. You'll do an introduction. This is a safe space, so don't feel like about any of this. We are safe. We are very welcoming. It's going to be fine.
You can always pop out. If you have any questions, you can pop out. You can put it in the chat, or you can pop out and visit us, and then you can pop back in.
Right. So I'm going to add anything else you want them to know before they go. Is this just basic? So I'm going to create, how many of us are there?
This is not a speaker intro, just introduce your paired partner to the group. Whatever you guys decide is okay. You have the power.
Right. And we have, how many, count for me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to have 5 groups. I'm just telling you what I'm doing behind the scenes. Oh, we have a question from Caroline.
And how long will we have to present our partner?
Great question. 1 minute. Yes, 1 minute or under. You don't have to do it. Often when it comes to introductions, less is more, as far as, you know.
Minute or less. We'll love you if it's less. And you each have 3 minutes to share. You pop back. And so part of those 3 minutes, you'll be telling your partner what you're going to say and making sure that they agree with it.
Right. And then I will type 3 minutes. We're halfway. You'll get a message that says halfway done. So you switch partners if you haven't already. And here we go. I've got them set, and I'm going to open the rooms, and you're all set to go. You can join now.
Then I'll put the timer.
You need to go in one of the rooms with Alex.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah. Let me move you. Yeah, join the room. I'm gonna take, okay, there we go. And normally I would pause the recording right now, but I'm going to take this chance to just share with the people who may be watching the replay because you weren't able to come to the first session. So you have the link to the manual. And since you didn't get to do this live, it would be great to take somebody in your life and interview them for a few minutes and then practice, set a timer for 1 minute and see what it would be like. Look in front of the mirror because we see each other, right? You see yourself these days, and we have to get used to having your image out there. And during that time, just go ahead and do an introduction and share that introduction so you don't miss out on the experience. So that's why I'm not pausing, but now that I will pause it. There we go. And we're back. And people are coming back.
Sure. Yes.
Back. Wonderful, wonderful. Just a good reminder that I paused the video, just pulling back the curtain. I paused the video while you were all out there and then started it up again. However, and this is something I started doing because sometimes people won't be able to attend every session of yours. So what I did before I paused it was I talked to the replay people and I kind of gave them what they could do since they couldn't be here live, and who they could interview, and look in the mirror when you're sharing the interview, because in Zoom we see ourselves, right?
Right.
It can be unnerving if you're not used to it. So who will go first with the interviews? Who would like to volunteer to go first? Alex, how about you?
Okay. So I was in a group with our leader, Marilyn Suttle. And so I'm introducing you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like you all to meet 3-time best-selling author, Marilyn Suttle. She is a virtual host and MC, and her specialty that shows up in all of the work she does is teaching you small shifts that you can make in your life or in your business or in any endeavor that you have that make a huge difference.
Thank you. Okay, this is, Robbie does this for applause.
This is American Sign Language applause.
You could also do one of these celebration things in the research reactions. So who goes next, Alex?
Let's see.
Well, don't you introduce him, Marilyn?
That's right. That's right. So let me introduce to you Alex Suttle. Alex, at his core, is a storyteller. He is a prolific writer. He writes lyrics to songs that will make you cry, laugh, feel every emotion there is to feel. He's been in bands. His music is just phenomenal. He's got some videos out there on YouTube that will rock your world. But he does more that is more than musician. It's whether he's podcasting or whether he is writing a blog, he is going to reach into your soul and bring out something that you'd never thought of before and change the way you feel. So that's Alex. And so I will see all these. And so I will pick the next person, who will be Gerald. Oh, you're muted, Gerald.
Got it. Well, today I have the pleasure of introducing Carolyn Rachon. Well, it's got a French way, and we're just going to call her Carolyn Rock On. And she is from Quebec, Canada. Is she the furthest here today? I think so.
Yeah.
And she is a speaker and a trainer and a coach, and she works on appreciation in the workplace with using the 5 love languages. Can't go wrong with that. And she is also an organizer and an author. So she has many talents to bring us to share today. She also absolutely loves to travel, and she's looking forward to her next trip scuba diving in Costa Rica when the powers to be let us go.
Whoa, good, yay. Nice job.
Thank you, Gerald, for that beautiful introduction. So I guess it'll be my turn to introduce this beautiful woman who is all smiles. And there's that twinkle in her eye that I couldn't determine if she was mischievous or just shy. But Gerald, I think, was very humble and didn't want to talk much about her credentials. But what she wanted to talk about was her deep um, importance to her in her life to educate and empower people to get access to long-term care, people with disabilities. So I got the sense that she's extremely dedicated person who is always thinking about others and who wants to make a big difference in this world. So I was very privileged to spend this time with you, Gerald.
Yay! And Caroline, who would you like to pick?
Nicole, just because it's a Nicole.
Oh, yeah, I grew up near the Quebec border, so represent French Canadian ladies. Okay, so I'm here to introduce Brita Miller. She is a storyteller, author, and obviously pro speaker. And if you're wondering where you've heard Brita Miller before, you might have heard her on the Moth Radio Hour, where she told a story once, and you also might have heard her talk to a healthcare organization. She recently released a book, Taking a Break Before You Break, which is focused on self-care. And so she does a lot of that work with healthcare organizations speaking about that topic. She's a member and recent past president of the NSA Michigan, and obviously lives in Michigan.
Yay!
That I just meant done. Like that was like that was supposed to be like a
Good.
Okay, I'm up next. Well, I would like to introduce you to Nicole Voilette, who, if you've ever wondered, if you are a high school science teacher, what's the next step? What is the correct career path from being a high school science teacher? Well, you may not realize it, but it may, in fact, be owning an internet marketing company. Yes. Our speaker today, she is an expert in all things social media and marketing, whether it's Facebook, other social media platforms and blog writing. She runs online workshops. She also owns several co-working spaces. So she's got you covered in person and online. She currently lives in upstate New York, grew up near Quebec, and but she was originally born in the state of Maine. The thing is that Nicole is an expert in helping small businesses succeed online. She's an avid reader and a dog lover, particularly those with stubby legs and long floppy ears. Please welcome Nicole Voilette.
Woohoo!
I feel so introduced. I love this.
Who's next, Brita?
So next will be, let me check my names here, going down here, Robbie.
Well, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Dr. Red Shoe herself. Margarita hails from Cuba, or as she says, she escaped Cuba and came to the States when she was 5 years old, not realizing that she continued to get, into trouble. She's now actually a misbehavior expert. As a psychologist for over 30 years, she has morphed into a speaker and a coach. One of her passions is she loves helping people shine. As she says, it is one of those like pizzazz moments in her life and theirs. And she is avid in her love of her family. She has 2 daughters, 3 grand dogs, and 3 grandchildren. And the emphasis there is on the 3 grand dogs. And today she was interviewed on TV to talk about reconciliation and the experience that happened in the Capitol. Please welcome Dr. Red Shoe herself.
Thank you very much. And I had the pleasure of introducing one of my favorite grown-ups that I met in 2020, Robbie Samuels, with the 5% advantage each time. It's 5%. And he's also responsible for saving the world from PowerPoint and Zoom death. No more bad Zoom every Friday. I think he's a unicorn. He's a guy who has this passion for connecting people and creating engagement, either in live programs or now virtual. And he's learning how to pass on this special skill that he was born with. It's a charisma. And he's been teaching charisma, which if he could learn to do that, the world will all need him. with COVID, he's been growing. He's had a chance to be not a stay-at-home dad, but a work-at-home dad. He's got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, Grant and Zach, and they're adorable totes, as my grandchildren would say. And he cooks, watches movies, especially the Marvel, which I approve of, and they do puzzles. So he is who he is, but he's sharing it with everyone. So the world needs you, Robbie. Welcome to the world, Robbie Samuels.
Ooh, who goes next, Margarita?
I think Robert McBee.
All right. Quick mute check. Thank you. And it is my great pleasure to be able to introduce to the group an amazing resource for all of us, who is Leslie Fiorenzo. And she's another Michigander. There seems to be a lot of that going on in this group. She's from Grand Rapids. She's a speaker and she's a coach. She's currently working on getting more paid speaking gigs, tapping into her expertise in conflict resolution and also in helping, especially women, that's 70% of our audience today, women. She's helping them go from lives of so much overwhelm and chaos to living more of a life of real calm and peace and feeling a sense of presence. So she has some wonderful work that she's doing there. She is also a self-proclaimed glamper. So she's camping, but not really camping. She loves to get out in nature, but not necessarily get too dirty. She was really, really honest with me about that. And I think it's fair to say she also has the coolest background of anyone in this group. So that's Leslie. And she gave me a sneak peek at the other side of her background. So I feel really lucky.
Woo, good job. And Leslie, you can.
Well, I have the distinct pleasure today to introduce Robert McPhee. And Robert, at one time in his career, worked for the Jack Canfield organization, but now his most recent work is around diversity and inclusion, which he says is interesting for these are his words, old white guy. But he's found that it's been a very rewarding work to be involved with. And he's the author of several books. You can find him at excellentdecisions.com. And his work is really around helping people, but especially organization, align their decisions around their vision and their values. And Robert lives in the wine country of California, specifically Sonoma, where he relocated there about 3 years ago from San Diego, and is learning to enjoy wines of the region, specifically reds and Zinfandel. So please help me welcome Robert McPhee.
Woohoo! Whoops, wrong symbol. There we go. I put a oops. Yay.
Where's the wine emoji? Oh no.
Excellent, you guys, that's great. And those are the kind of introductions that we typically do. We ask some questions and then we go out there and it was lovely. How many of you would like to take it from lovely to, let me see. Yeah. So that's what we're going to cover, some skill sets now with intros. And Margarita, do you want me to pull up a screen while you talk?
I've got it. I got it right here.
Okay.
So what we did was we put together some intro information from some of our favorites. And one of our favorites comes from Christine Cashin. Everyone here know Christine Cashin? Yeah. She created the Christine Cashin formula. What a good name. And what she does is she gets people saying yes. She's provided a structure or a scaffolding for how do you introduce someone? How do you think about sculpting it? So first, here's the example. Marilyn did one. Do you wish you could handle difficult customers with ease?
So it's the three questions, right?
Huh?
3 questions.
There's 3 questions, right? And then the second one is, want to banish your customers' bad behavior? And then people go, yeah, I want to hear that. And then, are you ready for tips to make work feel more like play? Well, yeah. So then you priming the audience, and then the introducer looks good as well. And then if you answered yes to any of those, you might be in the right place. Our speaker today, and then you do 3 credentials. So wrote 3 best-selling customer service books. Ooh, I want to listen to her. 20 years experience helping companies turn challenging customers into vocal advocates. And her advice has been featured on TV news and national media. When not working, you can find her watching sappy Hallmark movies or The Walking Dead. Helping us today to turn around difficult customers, please join me in welcoming Marilyn Suttle, CVP. And so you see at the last is her official credential. Then I put together mine that I do. This is, we're not going to read it. This is the format I give it to people in. I do the cash-in method, but I only do 2 questions because I think 2 questions is enough. And this is the format, steal my format. It makes it easy. So you make it a 14 or 16 point document and you print 2 or 3 copies and you bring it with you. And then you email it to the person way before, when you send your biopic and your blurb and all that. And then just before again. You need 2 touches on an intro because people lose intros. Don't know why, but they do. Can also put it on your website so people can always find it. So you can see here our speaker today, and there's 3 things. She's here today to share strategies and tips for, I just put dealing with difficult people. Sometimes, whatever is the topic, usually that's what I do. And then I'm a seasoned psychologist, and then 3 things, and then my name. Welcome to the stream. And here you want to do something funny. In the credentials, 2 are more serious and 1 is more funny. So, and a proud owner of 37 pairs of red shoes. These days, she's cozy in her red slippers. So think about 2 serious things and then 1 that's not. So Marilyn and I then, Marilyn uses her own system. What is the speaker's topic? What are their credentials? What makes that speaker unique? And end with the speaker's name and credentials. So Marilyn, why don't you read your own then?
Oh, sure. When it comes to creating memorable customer experiences, there's nothing subtle about Marilyn Suttle.
I love that line.
Listed as one of the top 30 global gurus of customer service for over a decade, Marilyn has worked with companies that want to stand out as a provider of choice and with teams who want to work well together. She focuses on 3 things. What makes customers want to work with your organization? What makes employees want to wake up in the morning and come to work? And when can she safely go to the salon to get her next mani-pedi? So that 3rd one is a ridiculous one that makes people laugh. Please put your hands together to welcome Marilyn Suttle, CVP. So the formula helps you craft what it is that would make the introduction pop. And so you're going to get a chance to practice this with a partner. You can choose either this model on page 14 or the other one on page 12. You have the manual in the chat.
Let me put it again in case people need it. Oh, that's the wrong one.
And pick either format, whichever format you'd like. We're going to give you more time this time because it takes a little thinking, but sometimes it goes faster than you think. When you craft something that just makes people smile, get a chuckle, and intrigue them, questions make them say, yes, yes, yes. That makes people want to hear it. So
here's a question. I don't know if all of you have the manual up in front of you. So as you interview, it's going to always be a new partner. Did you want me to leave one of these up on the screen, or do you want to put your own stuff up on the screen? I don't know if what you're most comfortable with.
Are we going to breakout rooms?
Yeah, you're going out to breakout rooms.
Then it won't matter because
what I would do is if you don't have the manual up, just take a picture of it.
We can't see you're showing here when we're in breakout rooms.
No, but that's right. You can't.
No, you cannot. So you can look on those pages. Just look on those pages.
Thank you, Robbie. That was a duh.
Yeah.
If you don't have the capability of putting it up on your screen for whatever reason, take a picture now. Take a picture of this page.
And there's a question in the chat. Are we writing our own or our partners? You're helping your partner. You're writing it for your partner because you're going to introduce your partner. But you can work together, right?
Yeah, each person then interviews a partner just like before, because often as an MC, you're going to be writing the intros, and many people who are speakers say, oh, I have an intro and it's a bio. and you're just going to kill your audience and your reputation. So what you want to do is interview them to get an, and this is 12 minutes. So each gets 6 minutes. And again, then it's a 1 minute intro. So we'll let you then do the 1 minute intro each. This is the core of what we're doing today, the intros. All right. So, and there's, if you want to take a picture of this one then.
And we're going to time you so that at 1 minute, you're going to stop. And the reason for that is as MC, you are the time police. Because if everybody gets in a few extra minutes, well, your thing can go over 45 minutes and people will hate you. There's a saying, your audience will love you till 1 second after you were supposed to stop. So that's why we're gonna literally have a timer, and when it rings, it's over.
All right, do you have questions about this second intro portion assignment? No?
No questions?
Then let's
To take the picture though, I'm not seeing the caption.
Oh, put the caption one back up for her.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, we have a link in the resource section where you could take the written word and type in how many written words your intro is, and it will tell you how long it will take a professional vocal person to say it.
I'll put that in the link. So this is the caption one.
Right.
You know what? I will put it in the chat. I will put the
They can't
caption one.
see the chat once you go into the, I don't think so. Robbie, can they see the
I
chat?
can see the chat, but they can't see the image.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll need to reopen the chat when they get in there, and they'll see whatever we last wrote
Oh,
in chat here.
Very good. So we've got our resident expert Zoom guy.
You know what? I am going to just take a picture of this and I'll send it to you.
And Margarita, I'm not going to have you go in a room this time because we have even numbers.
Good. And,
Okay.
and if people come back, we can help. If you want, if your team has any need, come back and we'll answer whatever questions you need. All right, I'm taking a picture of this and I'll put that in the chat. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. You can put us in the breakout rooms then.
You'll want to share the file first before sending us to breakout room.
Oh, okay. So we're going to put caption. See, he's our expert. Who needs to know everything when you got Robbie?
And Margarita, you're going to go in a room and you're going to come right back out because I don't know how to keep you from going.
I can actually tell you that, Marilyn.
Oh, tell us.
On the top right next to the room that has hers, where it has the number of people,
Yes.
click on the number
Uh-huh.
and then uncheck her. That's a new
Brilliant.
feature only for people who've updated. So that's really because you updated your Zoom. That's the most recent update, or
That's
second most recent update.
phenomenal. Okay, thank you. Okay, ready, everybody?
Well,
And
I can't seem to get it, but that's okay.
the person with the brightest color top can go first and decide whether they're going to work on yours or theirs.
Nicole, hope it's not you and I.
Here we go.
Black.
That would be funny. And let's set the timer.
I couldn't get the link in time.
They should have it, but they all have the other link anyway. So 6 minutes. When that rings, and I need to pause the. Do you want to pause the recording?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, Gerald's still.
Here we
And
go.
we're all back. Hello. Let me get my camera back on.
Hi, everyone.
And before, we're going to take a little bio break in just a second, just a short 3 minute, if that's okay. But first, I want to grab everybody's picture. So take a look and get your hair all dolled up. Ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Say cheese. Great, 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 great. So let's take about what would you say, 3-4 minutes to do what you
3
need to.
minutes is always 5 or 6, so 3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you back.
When we come back, so you can be thinking, each of you is going to take turns introducing as an MC your paired partner, right? And then we'll give you'll give yourself some feedback, what you liked, and maybe some ideas of what you might want to do differently next time, right? So enjoy the bio break and we'll listen to some Alex music on the way out.
Oh, good idea. Let me put some of his great music up here. Ready?
Marilyn, you're not sharing it through Zoom.
He says you're not sharing it through Zoom.
You're not sharing your audio through Zoom?
Are you hearing this method? Who likes to go first? Okay, Nicole.
All right. Has the timer started?
No, it has
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Well,
I just,
and I
because
just
I know,
want to
because I know you're timing us for a minute, right? Like that's part of
yep.
the,
And at the end of the minute, we're just going to stop it. And I just want to acknowledge you for two things: being brave enough to go first, and also being smart to go first, because then you can relax and watch everybody else's.
Yep.
And for the rest of you, I would recommend taking some notes. When you hear something you really like, take a note of it so that you might not use it for yours, but you might use it for some other thing. So, okay, are you ready, Nicole?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's hear from Nicole.
All right. I'm here today to introduce you to Robert McPhee, who is an excellent decision expert, someone I wish I would have met earlier in my life. He's the former director of training for Jack Canfield, and he's the founding member of the Transformational Leadership Council. And you might wonder, how else has Robert built his credentials? Well, he's the author of Manifesting for Non-Gurus, which sounds like a great book. He has a deep commitment to working with young people and takes every chance he gets to help young people and others make decisions from their values and vision instead of from stress and pressure. And he is now, having just recently moved to Napa, transitioning from being a beer snob to being a wine snob. So I'd like to introduce today Robert McPhee, creator of the Excellent Decisions Leadership Program.
Woohoo! Woohoo! You get a star. And she had 5 seconds to spare. So
Wow.
awesome. Margarita, do you want to introduce the debrief or the feedback? What worked well, and what would anybody
So I
want?
have to apologize. The TV people just they told me the link I sent didn't work, so I'm hurrying up to do that. So I apologize. I'll be right with you.
Okay, that's fine. I will go. So who wants to share one thing that worked really well about that interview? There were a lot, but who wants to share one thing that worked really well?
Really charming,
Absolutely.
charming, and it caught my attention. I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. And you got me to chuckle too, adding that little bit of humor. Yeah. And who wants to share? Is there anything you would say, one thing that might work even better? Oh, go ahead, Caroline.
I think I enjoyed when Nicole said she wished she would have needed his services. Just it made me feel like I would need it also. So it made me included into the introduction.
Yes, it really kind of just made you feel all good inside. So Nicole, what did you like about your presentation?
I think it went pretty well. Obviously, the framework sort of helped keep it short. Also, I've been in BNI for like 6 years. So like, I'm really used to doing the 1 minute things, like, and knowing what that feels like. So I knew I was probably going to stay within time. I should have rehearsed it a bit because I was a little hesitant on some of the details, and my handwriting is apparently terrible. So
No, should have. This is good. Okay, thank you, Nicole. And so, Robert, do you want to go next, or do you want to? How do we want to? I don't want to force anybody to go next. Who wants to
No,
go?
I'm happy. I'm happy to
oh
go
yeah,
next.
get it over with. It's lovely.
Yeah, I heard you loud and clear about that. Be able to enjoy the rest of the time together part. So I'm all in for that.
Okay, and here comes Robert.
All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a treat. Our next presenter today is Nicole Wallet. I get to practice my French a little bit. Nicole Wallet, and she is an expert in marketing and business effectiveness when it comes to cost, when it comes to profitability, when it comes to time. That's where her expertise is. She has created over 500 websites for organizations. She has worked with more than 2,000 clients over 13 years, and she has an incredible array of her own experiences starting and running her own businesses, not only in the area of succeeding, but also the valuable lessons that came from some failures. She is a former science teacher of high school students, so she can handle anything. She focuses on small businesses and businesses that don't necessarily live in high population areas. And she's a stand-up comedian, so she's sure to be entertaining. So here's your small business expert, Nicole Wallet.
Yeah, you just 7 seconds over. That was
Story
good.
of my life.
Yeah. Great job. Okay, so who wants to share something that worked really well? And I'll share one right off the bat. I loved when you said, it makes me want to practice my French. It just humanizes you, and it made me chuckle, and it made me reinforce that she was that French part that added interest. Let's hear from one more person. What do you want to say that worked well?
I liked the stand-up comedian comment only because it made me go, I want to hear this. I'm ready for a laugh. And of course, all of us are these days.
Oh, that's great. Oh, and Nicole, you wrote theirs is be a nice 60-second template you can put in text. And for next time, we'd love you to share it. We'd love to hear
that. I've never seen that.
That would be
Yeah,
terrific.
you copy and paste it in and it'll tell you the timing breakdown. I'll see if I can
wonderful.
find it real quick.
Oh,
Great.
and I'll find that link of that of the other one then.
And Robert, what was something you liked about it for yourself?
I like the awareness that I should write more slowly when I'm making notes for something like this, so I can actually read my own handwriting. And it's just valuable to practice. This was a really good reminder that the first time you do anything, it can feel awkward and uncomfortable, but each time you do it, it'll just get easier and easier. So practicing with the framework was really valuable.
Fantastic. Oh, good. Who's next? Who wants to go next? Okay, just see two people. So Robbie's hand went up first and then Leslie's. So Robbie, you and your partner, then Leslie, you and your partner. And give me a second. Ready? And here is Robbie.
Do you want to make your message more memorable? Are you ready to captivate your audience? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you are in the right place. Today's speaker has been a performer for over a decade, touring all over the country, creates the perfect story for his clients through video and photography, and honed his storytelling skills as the host of the Limitless Future podcast. When not working, you'll find him in the kitchen concocting new creations. Some even taste good. Helping us today to become standout speakers, please join me in welcoming Alex Settle.
Yay!
Yay! So who has a compliment for Robbie? Who wants to share something that worked well?
Oh, your voice.
You got a great
He could read the newspaper and we'd be excited. I love that comment. You made me laugh. Very good.
Such a powerful thing. And there's the 1 minute mark. So you did that well under a minute. What did you like about it yourself, Robbie?
I really like the structure, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to improve my own introductions going forward. Yeah, we struggled with trying to find like what the humor thing was going to be. So I took a little jab at him on the kitchen remark because we were trying to find a way to humanize him.
Perfect.
Great.
No, I appreciated having the structure, and like it feels like it flowed and you cover everything. And
So I want to point out something that Robbie does well all the time, which is one of the hallmarks of a good MC. He not only made Alex shine, but he went beyond just what Alex said to put his own twist on it in a way that was trustworthy, because a lot of people get dangerous and a little mean or put downy. And so with Robbie, you're always going to trust him. He's just going to help you look good because he knows it helps him look good, right? And because that's just the kind of guy he is, right? Okay.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, and coming up next, your partner was Alex. So Alex, here's Alex.
Okay, it is my pleasure to introduce Robbie Samuels, who will be talking with you today about something that we all desperately need right now, which is how to adapt your business to the digital world and more effectively use media. He is the author of the best-selling book, Croissants vs. Bagels. He hosts a virtual workshop weekly called No More Bad Zoom, and has done over 50 virtual events just in 2020. He's spoken on platforms like TEDx and given a whole range of other speeches. He is a digital expert, best-selling author, and an at-home Scrabble champion, although he only plays his wife. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a hand for Robbie Samuels.
Woohoo! And you did it with 2 seconds to spare. So who would like to share what worked well that Alex did?
I love the at-home Scrabble champion. That was great.
Especially adding the wife part. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
funny.
that was great.
He put the expertise right up front. We were really clear that this was an expert we were going to hear from.
The credentials, it's important to put the credentials in there. It's like, why should the audience care? And so that's good.
And I like that he didn't go on and on, that Alex, you didn't go on and on with credentials. Because if someone's really good, a few things are enough. Too much means they're not so confident.
Right.
That's what grandmothers are for, to brag.
And Alex, what did you like about that yourself?
I like the rule of 3 thing in here, where you put the humor as the punchline at the end of saying their credentials. Just the whole flow of this structure. It's good.
It gives you confidence when you have to go into an introduction. Thank you, Leslie. Give me a second here to just restart this. Oops, and you're up.
Our speaker today is going to talk to us about healthcare accessibility. And you might be thinking, ooh, do I really need that? And I want to tell you, you do, because she's going to help us improve the way our patients feel when they walk into our practice so they feel welcome, and a way to improve your customer base. Now, she's worked as a nurse case manager for the past several years in the rehab arena and has a specialty with brain injuries and the Americans with Disabilities Act. And when she's not working with her clients, she's not binging on Netflix, but binging on ADA material and attending their conferences. Please help me welcome Gerald Birchmeyer.
Yay! And you had 4 seconds to spare. Very nice. Who wants to share what worked well?
Like the topic might not sound that interesting, but here's why it's actually valuable reference.
I thought that was great. Yes. And you had your tone matched the topic. That was the other thing. You know, we set the tone for, sometimes an event is a really fun-filled thing. Sometimes it's very serious, and sometimes it's life-threatening. You know, this is why you're here, for your life. So you had a very nice tone. You set the tone for what the talk was. What did you like about it, Leslie?
I like the way it flows. I like the way, because, you know, you've heard people drone on and about, like you mentioned, credentials and that kind of thing. So I like those 3 questions and then a little something fun.
Thank you. Good job. Who wants to go next? Okay, Brita. So everybody meet Brita.
Hello. Our topic today is appreciation in the workforce. So let me ask you this question. Have you ever wondered why some members of your team really like to be recognized for their work and others are just mortified? Or do you wish that you knew the best way to show appreciation to your team? Well, if so, you are in the right place today, because our speaker today is an expert. She teaches organizations the 5 love languages, how to show appreciation in the workplace, based on the work of the book 5 Love Languages. She is the Canadian premier partner with Dr. White, who co-created the book, The 5 Love Languages of Appreciation in the Workplace. She's bilingual, so whether you're speaking French or English, she's going to be able to speak your language. She has been working, she's been a trainer for over 15 years, and not only in terms of appreciation, but with the Jack Canfield organization and a member of the Professional Organizers Association in Canada. And she has a very high level of skill and a Gold Leaf Award, which is pretty rare. So you may have seen her on TV throughout Canada.
I'm going to stop you, Brita. You're 27 seconds over.
Oh
It was lovely, but it was too long.
Too long, too long.
But let's take a look at what worked well. So I need to hear you say her name, introduce her name. Say
That would be a good one. Well, I was saving it for the end.
Yes, go ahead and do that.
Caroline Rochon.
Beautiful. We had to hear her name. So what worked well, everybody?
So I like at the beginning, I was hooked with the mortified, because even coming off of my credentials, I felt a little more, it was an emotional word, and it kind of perked me up.
It totally drew me in. Yeah. Anybody else want to share one? Dr. Redshoe, got one?
No, I thought it was good. I mean, the mortified is good, and it made me so later when I learned she did love languages, because she
That was
understands that people
intriguing.
react differently. So it
Yeah.
already gave her a street cred in my mind.
Totally. And
I like
Sabrina,
the bilingual. She speaks your language. Like that was a
Really?
good laugh line.
really good, really good. Yeah. Brita, what did you like?
Well, actually, I like my last line that I didn't get to say. So-
Oh, go ahead and say it. Now we're curious. I had to be the police. It's a hard
Oh,
job.
no, you were absolutely right. And I needed to tighten it up. I just
What
need to
is it?
practice before.
Oh,
So
wait,
I
wait,
knew.
tell us the line.
Yeah, so that if you may have seen her across TV on Canada, and if not, she might be sipping champagne, enjoying white roses, and organizing her vast collection of unicorns. Please welcome Appreciation in the Workforce, Caroline Rochon.
Oh, that's great.
That was a good one.
Really good ending. Okay, so Caroline, are you ready? Here we go.
Okay, have you ever felt too exhausted to even think about doing something for yourself? Raise your hand if you did. Do you resist taking care of yourself because you might think it'd be too selfish or you would feel guilty? Raise your hand if you ever felt this way. If you did and you answered yes to any of those questions, you're in the right place, because our speaker today is the author of the award-winning book called The Caregiver Coffee Break. She's a certified caregiver consultant. She's also cared for her mother in her home, including in the hospice care. And I think she learned the hard way. So when she's not working, you would find her in her clawfoot tub with the doors locked. So here to empower us to take a break before we break, please join with me to welcoming Brita Miller.
Woohoo! Oh, look at that on the dot. Exactly
Good.
1 minute. Woohoo! So what worked well with Caroline? Who wants to share?
I liked the intro where she kind of engaged the crowd right away and made you think about why you might want to hear what's being said.
Yes, definitely. That was really gripping. And who else? Let's hear from one more person.
I thought it was all very well done, and it made me want to get to the talk.
It
It was
did.
very interesting, very relevant. I liked your tone. It was all good.
And succinct. Yes. And Caroline, what did you like about it?
That I didn't go for a bio break and I rewrote my.
So take a break before you break, Caroline.
I know, I'm like, I should be listening to this talk because I'm putting other people, well, no, I want to do well, but just like Robert McPhee, you're like going like, what did I write? So I need a course in my own handwriting, but I think what I enjoyed was the preparation and the structure, and that really helped me to, I think, well present the speaker and make that person shine.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So have we gotten everyone now?
We have.
All right.
Oh,
Gerald,
Jerry.
can
wait,
you-
Daryl.
Oh, Gerald didn't go? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was checked out part of the time. Go ahead.
I was checked out too because I wrote so sloppy, but I'm going to go for it here.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry about that. And let's hear from Gerald.
Let's hear. So start the timer. Would you like to learn how to be less overwhelmed and more in charge? Would you like to tame your inner critic and keep control of your emotions so you can move forward? Well, Leslie Fiorenzo is here today to teach us 3 skills to thrive now. So she has ways to teach us to be more productive and focus. Love that. Could use that right now. Please welcome her as she helps us eliminate our distractions, avoid procrastination. And she really liked to rather be out in the snow on her snowshoes and or traveling in her trailer, but it rarely moves. She has a trailer in place in a park that doesn't move. But let's look forward to hearing from Leslie about these wonderful skills.
Woohoo! And that was exactly 1 minute. Woo-hoo-hoo.
So I'm gonna tell everyone we just have a minute or two left, so let's be succinct.
I just want to share, when you said I could use that right now, I fell in love with you because I think we all relate. You became a real live person to me in that moment. You know, that's the kind of stuff that's magic.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you like about it, Gerald?
Well, I had a broken pencil and I couldn't read most of my writing, so I'm really happy
like
I
about
got
it.
through it.
About it.
And I thought that she really is got some things that are hot spots for women in particular that they would say, yes, I need to hear this.
Totally. Yes.
Yeah, you nailed that.
Okay, Margarita, take us away and tell us about tomorrow.
All right. So by now you've guessed what the homework for tomorrow is. You're going to work on your own intro and create one that you are willing to present. And when we start up tomorrow, we'll do very quick intros. Everyone's by now has got the 1 minute intro, and we'll get that started.
And if you love the one your partner created for you, you can listen to the audio and use that one.
We'll be sending the audio so that you have that. We will also ask you to read over the manual for weeks 1 and 2 and see if that stimulates any thoughts and questions. All right, this has been a great kickoff. You guys are a great group. Thanks for being our first. This is wonderful. We're just delighted and honored. Marilyn, you have some last words of wisdom?
Yes, you all did an amazing job, and I'm guessing that you probably had little butterflies when I announced what you had to do. And every one of you here is a pro. So, and we are open to your feedback. This is number 1 going through. So if you could give us what you liked and what would work better, send us an email. That's just something we would.
And in the chat, if you could put right now, what is your biggest takeaway from today?
That'd be awesome.
Biggest takeaway.
And
then when you if you need any input, just call us, email us. We'll be glad to help you with your intros if you want more input. So we have here from Robbie that I could provide an MC much better intro from now on. Yes, sir, you did great. Yeah. Leslie, the format for the intro. Yeah, we thought that was super important because so many people just kill everyone with a bio. Robert McPhee, what a brilliant group I'm a part of. Yes, and we're all so modest. So everyone raise your hand and pat yourself on the back. Such modesty. All right, we are the most modest.
Thanks, guys.
People email you their bio, that's right. Nicole, perfect.
Brilliant. And I honor your time. And so we are over time, so we're going to stop now, and we will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m.
tomorrow. And
Marilyn, can you guys stay on for one quick second for a tech question?
Sure. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
I'm just curious, when you put people in breakout rooms, and maybe this is a Robbie question, don't go anywhere, Robbie. When you put people in breakout rooms, I've been in meetings where they're able to set up a countdown timer in the room. How do you do that?
They didn't actually do that here. It's under options. I've got a video I can share with you on how to set that up. It's on my YouTube. I just need a second to grab it. But essentially, when you go to set up the breakout rooms, before you open the rooms, on that second screen on the bottom left is either a gear or there's a where it says options, depending on which kind of version you have. And then one of the you want all the boxes checked except for the first one. The first one being that everyone gets to choose their own room, because presumably we're not doing that. But then one of the options says like how many minutes, and then the last thing is how many seconds before we all come back. So in this case, they didn't have the countdown clock on the top, but then they gave us 60 seconds, which in my idea is the appropriate thing. If you don't do the countdown clock, give people 60 seconds to wrap up.
Right.
But if you do have the countdown clock, then I would just do 15 seconds because they kind of know that it's coming. It's just always a little awkward because they're like trying to wind down their conversation. But it's helpful to know how much time is left because no one remembers how much time they were given.
Right.
Do you
Right.
always
yeah.
use a countdown clock?
I switched a few months ago to always using a countdown clock.
Because
We
when I did it with you, we had one that was good. So
Yeah.
since he's the pro, so Robert, we're going to be getting his certification for event professionals, and so we're being urging everyone to do it.
Yeah, you might want to take it with us. What is it? It's coming up the end of the month.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
come join us.
think-
I'll send you the link.
I have a lot of maybes in the pipeline and one spot left, so we'll see who grabs it.
Actually, Robert, the link is in our resources.
Oh, it is. Okay.
The
Good.
manual.
Yeah, well,
All right.
you know what? I bet you I can find the more direct link. Let me go to that.
It's just robbiesamuels.com takes you to my homepage. I'm redoing my site, but my homepage has details about
Oh, okay.
the program. It's the 5percentadvantage.com.
Okay.
Did I say it right today? The 5%
Yes.
advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You just got to remember to magnify it out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5%, 5%, 5%. It must be hard to keep improving 5% every single time mathematically. Doesn't that get hard?
Oh, but you know, Robert, if you suck, it helps.
I mean,
Yes.
what I like
The
about the
worse you are, the easier it is.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
you know, like
I
here's
like
an
it.
example.
Hmm?
I'm like this today. I got 5% better.
Oh,
You know,
good.
when because often I have to coach people. I'm not usually doing the intros because usually they want a team member to do it. But now I have a framework that I can offer them and credit Christine by saying, here's a really simple framework. Like, let's just fill this in and you send it to me what you have. And I can then figure out whether it's too long.
Exactly. 'cause
Like
long-
right now, I'm always like, focus on three credibility factors. Don't read their bio. Like, what's the three things that make them
Yeah, I mean,
credible?
when I started using hers, it changed things dramatically for me. And I think it's great. So we also are glad to coach anyone on how to present it because a lot
Yeah.
of people are uncomfortable doing that and the pauses. You saw you know what? I'm going to create that template that I created, but with blanks, Marilyn, for next time.
Good
I'll have
idea.
that for everyone.
Good idea.
Well, and Robbie, your 5% thing is brilliant too. One thing Marilyn and I both learned from Jack Canfield in his whole pitch to get people to take 100% responsibility for their life, like they get overwhelmed by that. But if you ask people like what if you were committed to just improving by 5%, what would you do? And people go, oh, I would do this, I would do that, I would. So it's a really easy thing for people to lean into and buy into. So I think it's brilliant.
My wife really did not get the marketing at first.
Well, I actually like it. When I see the 5% advantage, it made me feel like I don't have to be afraid that I'm going to go into something over my head. You know, it's
Yeah.
I like it very much too. I thought it was a big relief.
yeah. So I think
And yeah, it's a differentiator, right?
You just need to remember to say every time, 5% every
Well,
time.
I didn't know about Kaizen, right? The Japanese method. I only learned about that recently. Because I've been
Yes.
talking about continuous improvement all 2020. And then I was Googling continuous improvement and came across, nothing new in the world, right? And I'm not the first person to talk about 5%, although I just came up with that number, but clearly there's some best practices that are happening in the world. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can check that out. I'm always happy. Every Friday I answer questions for over an hour. So like, that's just there. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
this
guys
today.
for letting me
Thank
take a
you,
few extra
Robbie.
minutes of your time.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
talk to you
Thank
tomorrow.
Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.